One of the other things that's very useful to know is how old your competitors' domains are, how old the websites are. One of the reasons for that, there's 2 or 3 reasons that you want to find this information out, other than just curiosity. One of the reasons is that generally older domains have been there longer and they are more trusted. So if a website has been up there since 2001 and you're a brand new website, or you're a brand new company with a new website and you've only been up there a year or so, Google will tend to trust an older domain a little bit more than it would trust the newer domain. So you generally get more trust with Google in older domains. The other thing that I find quite useful for this is you kind of get an idea of what kind of head start they've got. They've been doing it for 10 years. I've only been doing it for 1 year, for example. So you kind of get an idea, okay, they've got this much PR, or they've got this much, this many inbound links. It's taken them 10 years to do that. So I won't feel bad after a year of doing it, and I've only got 100 links. Okay, so I get an idea of how old the domain is through the domain tools, get an idea of how old it is, and kind of what my expectations can be after that amount of time if I last that long. The other parts of the domain tools as well, the Who is domain tools, kind of give you a snapshot of basic description, page titles, meta tags. One of the things it does do for you is kind of give you an idea of what kind of listings you're in, what kind of directory listings you're in as well. We looked at this a little bit earlier today, and the information that was on domaintools.com was a little bit out of date. So I wouldn't recommend trusting these. For example, if you're looking at your Alexa rank on domain tools, it might be slightly out. It was slightly out by about 11 million positions. I wasn't joking, 11 million it was out. So you can use the domain tools to kind of find out how old your competition's domain is. If they've been there for a very long time and they're on top of Google, you'll probably need to come up with something crafty to kind of get above them. Okay, inbound links. Inbound links carry a lot of weight when it comes to SEO. And if you're looking to find out who your competitors' inbound links are, and there's a couple of reasons you might want to do this, I'll get onto that in a second. But if you're trying to find out who is actually linking to your competitors' websites, you can usually quite easily find that out yourself in your own webmaster tools for your own website, but finding it out for your competitors, you just need to go onto some other websites to do that. One of the websites you can use to do that, there's a lot of tools you can plug into your browser to do this as well, but one of the websites you can use to do this is the Yahoo Site Explorer website, and I'll put the URL down here if you're interested. siteexplorer.search.yahoo.com. And what you can do with the Site Explorer is you can type in your competitor's URL, and you can also say, well, what I want to know is I want to know what inbound links they have. So you can click on the inbounds, and also a good idea, because you might want to just go and say, well, I want all the inbound links that come from other domains, not from their own domains. They're not linking to themselves. And you'll get an idea, actually, of how many inbound links they have to their website. And if it's a website that's been around for 5 or 10 years, they'll probably have hundreds and hundreds of inbound links. It just happens over time. But you'll also be able to see what those links are, so where those links have actually come from, which can be very useful. Because if you've got a competitor that's doing certain things, you want to try to copy them if you can, especially when it comes to inbound links. They might have links from specific industry-related directories. Websites out there that are indexing, say for example, websites in the dental industry. You want to be in those indexes. You want to be in there with them. So you can actually go in and have a look through Site Explorer and see who's linking to them. A lot of the time it's blog posts and forums, and one of the competitors that we're currently working with, or we're working against, they have 3,800 inbound links. They've been doing it since 2004, so they've been doing it for 6 years, and we're kind of reasonably new at it. They've got 3,800 links. Went in to have a look, and what they've got is they've got a team of people that go out and comment on blog posts and on forums. So they go out there, and all they do is they spend their day, a marketing team, just commenting, yeah, this is really good, that's really bad, and putting in a link from that forum onto their website. Okay? As a small business, you don't have 5 or 10 people to go out and do this regularly. So you've got to go and say, well, let's have a look and identify the ones that maybe have the highest page rank, or the ones that are going to give us follows, and go in and kind of try to start emulating that. What I do is I tend to put aside a day a month just to doing this. Going in, having a look at the directories that our competitors are submitted in, have a look at who's linking to our competitors, and then go in and try to get involved with those same kind of people so they will link to us as well. Bit cheeky, I know, but we can find this information out about our competitors. It's really useful. I mentioned directories. There's a lot of directories out there, industry-related directories. You should know what those directories are for your own industry. Go out and find them. If you're in the dental industry, type in dental directories, and you'll be able to find a load of them and submit your websites to them. One of the kind of infamous or famous directories is DMOZ. And DMOZ isn't as popular as it used to be, but it's quite hard to get into DMOZ. So a lot of people say, a lot of webmasters say, well, if I can get into DMOZ, I've made it, okay? I can sit back now. Well, DMOZ is just really another link onto your website. If you can get into DMOZ, you're on the right track. Tab Dental are in DMOZ, okay? And what you have to do is you have to submit your website to DMOZ, and what they'll do is they'll review the site and see if it's of any worth, and then if it's of worth, they deem it to be of worth, they'll put it into the DMOZ directory. Now, be selective about what you put into DMOZ. If you have some personal websites that you want to promote, you probably won't ever get into DMOZ, so don't bother wasting your time. Put in services and sites that are going to probably be of use to something like DMOZ. Okay, so this is the table that daughter created, and the table basically lists some of the things that we've talked about, some extra things as well, but it lists tabdental.co.uk versus dentaldesktop.co.uk, and this is the one that we want to win. These are the bad guys, okay, we don't like them. Domain age, the domain's been around for a very long time, so why is that? It should be number one.
The company has, but that domain name hasn't. It just points to the old company site.
Okay, but the domain name is reasonably old, and that's original. Well, one of the good things that you could say, well, we've got that against them. We've got an older domain that's going to be seen as a little bit more trusted than Tab Dental by 3 years. DMOZ listing, they have a DMOZ listing. Have you submitted to DMOZ?
Yeah, I thought I had a listing actually. I'll check it.
Okay, Alexa rank as well. Daughter was quite into the Alexa rank. I wasn't really that bothered about the Alexa rank. Basically, worldwide ranking. I think you found it quite useful because there is some demographics on the Alexa rank as well. The problem is that you have to be ranked, I think, in the top 1,000,000 or something websites on the web. So if you've got within the top 1,000,000 visits, you'll be ranked in Alexa. And you'll be able to then go in and have a look at some of the demographics. In other words, daughter found out that one of the websites that we're going to have a look at in a second, their customer base is made up of 25% females.
Between 24 to 35 will predominantly look at the website in work hours, which I thought was quite interesting.
Information like that. How useful is that? Okay. Just identifying who your target market is there as well. You should know that anyway. IP location. There's a difference between IP location. There's also some dispute about whether that's of any relevance as well, especially with the .co.uk domain. I say no, it doesn't really matter. Inbound links, this is kind of where most of the damage is done. Inbound links, they have 48 and you have 13. Okay, it's not a massive difference compared to the one we're going to see in a minute, but it's not a massive difference. But you can quite easily get that up to 48. I can get a website up to 50 or 60 in a day or two's worth of kind of going at it, submitting us to different types of directories. And that's going to help with the spiderability of the website. Also with inbound links, don't get all of the inbound links to the home page. Get the inbound links to relevant pages. So, for example, if you've got a part of your website, especially if you do a lot of different things on your website, if you have, for example, a consultancy service, you go onto a consultancy directory, you link to the consultancy service on your website. Looking at the pages in the index, Tab Dental has 25, a quarter, as we've already seen, a quarter of the pages. We have 12 out of the 58. So we might want to just have a look at what those 12 pages are, because those 12 pages might be the pages that are doing the right thing, and the other pages, we want to get as many of them into the main search index as possible. So have a look. Which of those 12 pages? Google will list those 12 pages for you. What's different about those 12 pages compared to the rest of the pages? It might be the rest of the pages aren't of any use anyway, so you're not really that bothered. But make sure that your most prominent pages are in those 12.